Hello, people. Welcome back. Hey, 99 and Special Builder. Welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks. I try and work on this game every weekend, even if I don't stream, for at least an hour, just to make sure that progress gets done. But the last couple of weekends have been, like, not even that I'm busy, but people have been in the house, and I kind of felt like I shouldn't be sat at my computer. So unfortunately, I think the last 2 weeks I haven't done any work on it, which obviously then means that I have forgotten exactly what I was doing. The gist of today's stream, I think, what I want to try and fix is stage drawing. So if you are Lola and you walk through a door, the screen scrolls sideways like this to take you into the new room. Obviously this room is a copy of the first one, so there's no door to go back. We'll solve that problem in a second. But the problem is that at some point the renderer needs to draw this room and this room at the same time. I'm also aware that the entities get transferred across, but steps at a time. So the way that I'm basically doing this, drawing the stage, is under drawing the stage, I have this variable called L, or stages to draw M. Stages to draw, where's this defined? Here we go. So L is the current level, the room that you're in. And normally, when you just stood in a room like we are right now, that was me trying to walk. When you stood in a room like this, L is the only thing inside stages to draw. Hey iFusion, welcome to the stream. When we move right, we add an extra stage ID. We add a number to this, so we turn it into an array and add basically the next room's design. And when we move this way, we add an extra stage variable in front of this L so that we draw that one, then that one. So they're drawn in a line. I keep trying to walk and having the wrong thing highlighted. So that works fine until you want to go up. And I was working on the up and down code. I was like, this should be identical to left and right. And I was trying to work out what on earth my problem was, and then I realized that basically it's still adding, it's drawing the room above on the left and the room below on the right, which is not right. We need to draw them above or below. So I either need to, depending on what's going to be easier, when I go up, I want to draw rooms nothing, the room ID, nothing, the room that I'm currently in, nothing, and that would be it. And then to go left, I would draw nothing, the room I want to go into, the room I'm in. And then to go right, it would be nothing, the room I'm in, the room I want to go to. And then to go down would be nothing, the room I'm in, nothing, the room I want to go to. Which is a bit stupid. I don't know. That might be the way we have to do it, where we just draw a bunch of empty rooms whenever we're moving between rooms. But we kind of need to do that. The other thing I did is I designed a level editor, because I got fed up with writing this code down here out by hand to design all of these rooms. So the level editor lets me move around and select a tile with WASD. I have a nice little GUI thing that was completely unnecessary but quite fun to program, which draws a little tiny arrow next to each number to show me where I am inside like the array editor. And then when I have a tile selected, I can draw a tile there like this by clicking on a tile ID, and then that edits this code down here. You lose me at nothing. When did I say nothing? However, I think this may be broken. I'm gonna... Oh, yeah, that code looks a bit long. I'm gonna refresh this a second. I think the problem is that it's not clearing that whenever it writes a new code to the thing. Or it's not writing to it at all. What is going on? I've used this to input levels. How does that look in here? Where's our levels array? Here's our, oh, we called them stages. Okay. So currently these are all identical because I just put some placeholders in. If I just paste that, is it the same? It looks the same. Yeah, that looks right. But if we draw something else, like what if we put a door on this side? If I put this in room, let's see, we start in room 0 and room 1 is on the right. So let's put this in room 1. It looks different. Let's try it. So we should be able to just go to the right-hand room now. Whoa, okay. Yeah, something's wrong. I think something's wrong with my design code. That's annoying. When did I say nothing? Nothing. Pfft. Okay. I apparently need to work on my level editor. Probably because... It's weird because it's the same length as the other one. But it seems to be struggling to draw it. I remember why this is usually down here now, because I usually have the console open. Fail to execute draw image. I don't know what this error is. Line 440. Oh no. Yeah, line 448. What's on there? Draw image. This is for drawing the stage. The provided value is not of type. Am I trying to I think I might be referencing an image that doesn't exist, maybe? So it seems to be fine for that far, and then it's trying to do the top door. I think I may know my problem. So the top door, which I can easily see with my highlighter, is ID 22. I think what I might have done is, in my level designer, I have this like array of textures. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I really should have labeled these. 22. That can't be right. Well, let's see what it is in Lola, I guess. Our textures are up here. Did I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, but I did some checks because I'm turning all of my images into these numbers. I thought that it'd be smaller than a PNG, and apparently I have about 50-50 chance whether mine is smaller or larger than a PNG, and I'm kind of regretting doing this now because I feel like it's saving a couple of bytes, but oh my god, is it a headache. It feels cooler though, I have to say, to just type them out like this. So 22, 0, 6. Yeah, see, 22 is Lola. We want door right top, which is this one, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I think something's wrong with my level editor. It's getting the wrong IDs for textures. Let's try now. Nope. Oh, you know what it is? I bet that 29 isn't 20. 22, that's not decimal, that's hex, isn't it? As No9er was saying, so I didn't quite get what you meant. 22. 22 in hex. (22) is 16 in hex. So maybe we should be using 16? Question mark. Thing is, it's printing like 7F, or maybe it's only using. I think it's only doing the number of times it has to draw the texture in hex. This is probably the issue. Let's have a look. Okay, so create buttons, update level readout. Thing is, 16 is going to be wrong as well. But yeah, maybe it's writing it in decimal when it means hex? Oh god, I haven't looked at this code in so long. I'm just going to ignore that for now and assume that we can get over this. Well, we can't put 16, but we can put the correct value, which is going to be 28 and 29 is 1C and 1D. C and 1D. Yeah, it's not printing that, so I guess that might fix it. There we go. I need to redraw these textures, but oh, in fact, yeah, it was actually 1E and 1F I probably want. 1E and 1F. There we go. Right, left and right is now working. Okay, so that aside, we want to change how the stage is drawn. And I think the way it basically does it is it uses an offset depending on okay, I know that when I'm moving, this whole like sliding stage thing is surprisingly complicated. It would have been a lot easier to just have her animate walking through, fade out the screen, fade in the screen, have her walking in from the right, but I kind of want to try this whole sliding screen thing. So under room changing, this is slide room, that's the name of our function. So down here somewhere, here we go. So it define based on the direction you're walking, which I need to change by the way, because I can walk, I can walk up into this door and it'll think I want to go up. So I need to change this from direction to basically detecting like where in the room I am, and if I'm over here, then it moves it right regardless of which direction I'm moving. But for now, we'll just walk like sensible people. So you can see here I'm drawing, the stages to draw is the level number -6. So this is for going up, because -6 is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. And then the level. And then if I move right, it's the level plus the level plus 1. If I move down, it's the level plus 6. And when I move left, it's the level -1, which is over here. But what we actually need to do for up and down is we don't have a not a stage value, but I guess we can just put 0, which will just draw the first room in all the spaces that we can't actually see. So to move up, we would want to... We've also got this offset, stage scroll offset, which basically tells it, essentially you're expanding the size of the canvas you're drawing, and then the offset tells it where the camera is supposed to be focused. So to go up, it sets the Y to -256. So even though it's drawing the room up there first, we're telling it that the camera's moved down to here so we can see this room. So we still want to set the offset Y to -256, but if we also have to draw the room in the top left, this one, so 0, L -6, then 0, 0. So that's a top left, top right, top right, left, our current room, and then we don't need to draw any more. So we also want to set the offset X to 256, because otherwise we'll draw the room on the left. We want to draw this room, so we set the offset to 256. Or -256? Yeah, I think -256. If we're moving left, it's -256, and we now have a room on the left. So we'll try this, see what happens. And we're still changing the level by -6 because that moves us up. So now we just need to make sure we account for the extra stages to draw. I'm just going to add a door at the top so we can actually move up in level 0. Oh, we're also in room 0, so we can't move up. So we should probably try down first. Or start us in a different room. Let's start us in room... 7? Or no, 6. Room 6 would be the first room on the second row of rooms. I think I've got a... yeah, here's our room layout. So we are here. But if we put ourselves in... Let's put ourselves in room 7, because that's got 4 directions we can try travelling in. So our start level is going to be 7. I'm in room 7. Okay. So in room 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to add a room 8, which will be on our right. We want 9A, B, C, and D as well. 9A, B, C, D, just so that we have all the rooms around us to travel to. And then this room, room 7, is the background texture of the HUD at the bottom actually a tile texture? Could get you some trouble when moving up or down, but can't quite remember if it was like that. Yes, it is a tile texture, and I haven't thought about how I'm doing that yet. It's considered part of the stage. I don't know why. I either need to... The thing is, it's got a wall drawn on it, so it's kind of part of the wall. But it means that the the height of the dungeon is different from the width. So we could end up with some problems. It might be worth drawing the HUD separately instead of as part of the level, it would shorten the stage things like this. Let's see, I think just that last bit is just 7 of those, and then 16 of those, and that is 16 of the brick texture. So we could just take those off the ends of the levels, tell it to draw one less line, and then draw the GUI separately, which might be a good idea, especially because the GUI is supposed to appear above any entities. So if we draw it after the entities, there's no chance of like a slime or like a monster glitching through the wall and ending up in the HUD, which could be kind of weird. We want to add a top door. This room's already got room 7. So one E and one F gives us an error. Oh, I'm missing commas in my array. Okay, and then we need a door up because I want to see what happens. So the up doors are... This is exactly why I built a level editor, but there's clearly problems with it right now. Where are my up and down door textures? Is that door top and... There's a door bottom, but it's like empty. Oh, I don't think I ever actually drew the door textures. My level designer expects them to be... This might be part of the problem. I think 1E and 1F are the top right, are the top doors, but I've just put 1E and 1F in here. I think I have different textures assigned to different IDs in my level designer. So door bottom left, door bottom right, comma, door top left, door top right. So we now have textures defined. They're just kind of empty for the top and bottom. So we want 20 and 21 and 22 and 23. Okay. 7. Apparently I can't... Is that where I thought line 7 was? That's a terrible aim. So the first row is one of texture 1, then D of texture 2. I'm just going to use the level design to get the shape and then edit the values appropriately. Do, 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 do. We could fix the level editor for a bit. Could be fun too. Yeah, if you want to have a look at that. Might be worth it. I think the first thing we need to do is make sure that our textures are in the same order, and I regret not numbering these. The reason that I designed this one with an array of textures with a texture URL link is because Vanilla Burp was offering to do the textures. I think she's too busy at the moment, but she hated having to put the textures into my converter to get to see how they looked in game. So I decided to make this read the textures just from a file, so she could easily edit PNGs and then use this to just see how it looks. So yeah, which is why, even though you don't need the Lola walk textures, they're just here with a hidden value of true, because that way the ID should stay the same. So after the Lola walk values, we get the slime textures, get the heart. After the hearts, heart and half heart, we get the 4 doors. Door right top, door right bottom, door left bottom, door, I'm guessing that's door right bottom, and door left bottom. Oh no, door right top, door right bottom, door right top, door right bottom, then door top left and door top right. But we're doing door right bottom, door left bottom. Oh my god. Heike Coet, welcome. Doorway right top. That should be the top of the right door texture, right? Let me have a look at my textures. Doorway right top. Oh, sorry, yeah, right is, that's left. Doorway right top is door right top, is door right top, and then door right bottom. Yep. Then door top left is that one. But we're doing door right, door left. Oh dear. I think that's not right. We were using a 30 and 31 earlier, weren't we? Oh dear, I'm getting confused. Maybe worth adding an ID value to the object so you can have an arbitrary order in your editor. That's an interesting idea. One E is the right hand door, so that's door. Door left top and door left bottom. Door left top, door left bottom. So these two go here. And then after that we have door bottom left, door bottom right. Door top left, door top right. Right, at least those are now the same. I see why I ordered them the way I did now, so that they make a bit more sense in here, I guess. I mean, these two look okay. Maybe not, I don't know. But if I try and draw this, it says 1D and 1C on it. And it's printing 1C and 1D to the chat. C1D. I don't actually... Was it literally that I just had the textures assigned wrong? It looks like it might just work now. I'm kind of annoyed that this dungeon has even sides. So we should be able to just copy that. Stick it in here. It's going to be a little bit longer than the others. And that should give us a room with 4 doors? Yeah. Did those slimes just vanish when they went up there? I think they're just allowed to move. I thought they'd be stopped. I guess they're stopped at the bottom because they hit the GUI, which is considered a solid texture, but the doors aren't. Interesting. So they're just going to be stuck up there now. Okay, so let's see what happens when we try and go up. That was surprisingly close to right, I think. We're in room 7, and above room 7 is room 1. So we want to put something in room 1 to make it easier for us to see. And we also want room 1 to have a door at the bottom. So room 1 does not have a door on this side, so let's just put... That's not the thing at all, it's this one. Put those here. And then we want, like, let's just draw a smiley face. No, we're not excited enough for smileys. We're just going to have a mare face. And we're going to put that as room 1. Which is going to mess up my little map. You know what, I'm fed up with adjusting this map. Let's just... move it. Exciting, I know. There we go. So yeah, room 7 to room 1. Hey, it works. I was expecting to have to do some reprogramming to get that to work. Down is not going to work, or it's not going to draw a new... Okay, so it doesn't draw the animation properly, but it does let us move into the new room. And this error is because I think a slime just walked out of bounds. We'll have to stop slimes from being able to travel through doors, I guess. But hey, we fixed 2 things. Nice. It's only been half an hour. So, I was actually kind of tempted to make these doors entities instead of tiles because they're too wide, so you can kind of walk through a door without actually touching the door. So I hadn't really thought about what to do next. I'm just surprised that... Oh yeah, down doesn't work properly, does it? I think we just have to specify the right tiles to draw. So in the... This is such a long file. I might actually break this up into separate files while developing and then put them all together again at the end for size. Here we go. Slide room, direction 0, 1, 2. This is down. So to go down, we want to draw... Honestly, I have no idea why up worked. Like, I guess it just it's already set to draw a 3x3 and I've forgotten that I programmed that. So assuming it's a 3x3, we can make ours the top left, right? And then that would be, so the room we're in, the room on the right. Well, we have no scroll offset, so we are in the top left. So it's the room we're in, the room on the right, the room on the right of that, the room below us is the one we want to go to, and that should be it, right? We have no scroll offset. So hang on, let me. So there's no scroll offset, so the camera is here. We're in this room. So then we go 0, 0 is these two. Then L plus 6 is this one, and then we shouldn't have to draw any more. That sounds right to me? Question mark. Let's try going down and see what happens. Nothing good. It would probably help if I understood why going up isn't broken. Usually you don't understand why something is broken, but in this case I don't know why what I did worked. Which is fine until you don't you don't understand the problem, so you don't know how to fix it if it happens again later. I don't know, man. I guess we'll have to have a look at the drawing code. We should make one of these rooms darker than the other one to see how the lighting thing works per room. If not room changing, process entities, draw entities, process dialogues. Oh, the other thing we want to do is I want to rearrange the entities by height in room. And I'm hoping that isn't going to be a really performance intensive process, because I want the entities to be drawn with the highest entity first and the lowest entity last. So if there's a slime here, it's drawn first and then Lola's drawn on top of it so that it makes sense. Otherwise it looks like the slime is on her head. So I feel the thing is we're going to have to sort through an array of objects by an object property. We'll have to see how to do that. In the meantime, going down still doesn't work. Where's my draw stages? That's going to be first, isn't it? Draw stage, then draw GUI. We might want to break off the bottom of this room, actually. So draw stage 4, m equals 0, m is less than the stages to draw dot length, m plus plus. So it just draws stages until it runs out of stages to draw. Then... Like, seriously, why does going up work? X equals m times 256. So for every stage it draws it to the right, and then the y is just 0. For every stage it sets the x to the x offset and then the y to 0. Does walking up really work? It does. I also don't know why I'm doing a global replace and what I'm replacing, because I can't read regex. Am I splitting it by... No. Stages. The environment... I don't even know what I use that for anymore. Oh, okay. Oh, that's building the environment array for the stage? That's interesting. The environment array is used to tell us what is in each tile. Does that mean that if I go up here, I have the wrong environment drawn, meaning I can actually walk through these tiles? No, they're solid. Could the GUI below be messing up your drawing orders and such? The GUI is currently just part of the... It's considered part of the stage. It's only the hearts that are drawn separately. The problem is that when we go down, basically this striping you see when you go down, this is what I meant about walking right while going down. That striping is caused by the fact that there's nothing to draw down here. And you can see in this room that if something goes over a space which isn't redrawn, it just leaves what was there as like a print. So that's what's happening. Makes some nice patterns. But so basically it's not drawing the stage down here. And I'm just a little bit stumped at the fact that it's actually drawing the one up there. Because I feel like what this would do is if it would just draw all the stages in one long line. I don't see where I'm telling it to change the Y. Like the Y increases here. Does this also happen if you go up and then back down? Yes. Once I go down, the room is here. I can go down to this room as well. And I guess right? If that room exists. That room does not exist. It's not programmed in. But because there's no room to draw, it doesn't. So you can see it draws properly going up. Draw the stage. Stages to draw. For every stage to draw. X equals... So this is basically saying that whatever the stage ID is, you add 200, you multiply that by 256 to get the X, which means that the first stage it draws is here on the screen. You guys can see my mouse in the stream, right? I'm pretty sure you can. It's up here in the top left. Because the first stage's ID is 0, so 0 times 256 is 0, so it draws it here. So the first thing we draw is there. But we then add the offset X and offset Y. So when we go up, which is 0, we set the offset X and the offset Y to minus 256. Which means that we're drawing up there off screen, top left of the current room, which makes sense, I guess. So the first one is X minus 256. We draw the room, and then M increases by 1 for the next in the array. So then M is 1 times 256, which puts it here, but up. But the Y is still 0 plus the stage scroll offset Y. So it draws it up there. Then it draws room 3. 3 times 256 is over here. But the Y is still 0 plus the offset, which is up there. And then the next one is drawing it somewhere. And the one after that is this room. And this room is still being drawn. Let's put something extra in room 7. So we can check it's still drawing that room. Let's make a smiley face. Although that's going to get in our way. I'll use... Which of the... This is the only texture that you can walk through that doesn't also count as a door. Maybe this one counts as non-solid. Whoops. My code was a bit sloppy for the smiley face. For the level editor. Put this in room 7. We might get some weird errors. Can we walk through these? We cannot. We cannot. Okay, but regardless, we're going to go up. If this smiley face disappears while we're moving up, then I know what's going on. Oh! I don't know how I missed this before, but this room isn't sliding down. This room is just staying as it is because it's not being redrawn. So... Like, it doesn't slide down. The one over the top draws over it, which is the equivalent of nothing being there. So yeah, this code isn't working. What we need to do is... What is that ugly piece of code? What, this? I think it looks neat and beautiful. I don't know which bit of code you're referring to. So... I think that kind of answers... That was my confusion, why it was drawing this bottom stage, and the answer is it wasn't. It was just left over from the last screen draw. So what we need to do is, if we reach 3 stages, we have to increase a number and multiply the y by that. So I guess we have to... The drawn stage, every 3rd one we need to increase a number by 1. So that it new lines back down. And M needs to be M mod 3. 0 mod 3 is 0. 1 mod 3 is 1. Is this modulus 2? No, modulus 3. So the first one we draw is modulus 1. What is 0 mod 3? 0, right? Yeah. Yeah, so the first one we draw is mod 0, the next one is mod 1, then this one over here is mod 2, and then the one after that is mod 0 again, because it's the 3rd one, or it's the 4th one from zero-based counting. At the moment, 99 sir, if we look at my texture tiles up here, you see that the format is texture, then whether it's solid or not, and then the interact by stepping on value. So they all have this 2 in them, which basically just says if the texture tile has a step on value of 2, then that means that, I don't know why I chose 2, but it interacts with it that way. So when you first, it draws the stage, then it processes the control input, draws the GUI, then it processes interactive tiles. So if the current tile is equal to 2, then we move to the room, and then room changing basically looks at the direction that you're walking to decide which room you're supposed to be going into. What I'm supposed to do is give them a different number depending on the direction. So instead of all of these having values of 2, this would have a value of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then it would use that to determine which direction you're supposed to walk. In which case, like currently, a door in the middle of the room will transport you to the next room depending on what direction you're walking in when you touch the door in the middle of the room, if that makes sense. try not to use single letter variables. They are rarely self-explanatory. Only exceptions are X, Y, Z, I, and J. I agree, but when you're saving every byte you can, it's kind of a bit of a mishmash here because I started off using single letter variables and I was getting too confused and I kept like overwriting myself with like using the same letter twice and being very confused why things were broken. So then I switched to like more descriptive variables with the idea of once I minify this, I'll replace all the variables names with shorter variable names. The only problem is that some of the old variables are still kicking around and I kind of know what they mean. As long as I don't use any more, the overwriting problem isn't an issue anymore. Anyway, so yeah, if we do x modulus m mod 3 times 256 for the x, that'll cause it to wrap around and start drawing from the left again once it's done drawing. And then we need to do something where m increases by 1 every 3, which I guess is the equivalent of dividing by 3, but you want to like round it to an integer. So like 0 divided by 3, you can't do that, but I guess it returns, well, it returns 0. 1 divided by 3 returns 0.333. 2 divided by 3 is 0.666. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then 4 divided by 3 is 1.33. So what we want to do is like math.round. Let's say 4 divided by 3 gives us 1. And then 5. Why is that not letting me... Whatever. Math.round. So as long as... Actually, probably want math.floor, don't we? Which rounds down. So 5 divided by 3 should give us 1 still. Good. But if I did math.round, I think that would give us 2. Yeah. Okay, so x is equal to math.round, math.floor, m divided by 3 times 256. So every third room it draws, the y will drop by 256, which should now let us draw square, like a 3 by 3 grid instead of a line. Question mark. I also have a bracket I don't need here for some reason. Yeah. What are people saying? M divided by 3 or 0. Bitwise or only works on integers, so the float is cast to int. Interesting. So you're saying instead of math.floor m divided by 3, you can do m divided by 3 or 0. So if 3 isn't an if the result isn't an integer, it returns 0 because whole numbers like decimals return false, I guess. And it doesn't. I think I'd rather use math.floor simply because it's a bit clearer what it does when it reads. Although, as you say, it's character count saving. I'm going to see if this works, and if it works, I'll try yours. Otherwise, I'm going to be confused as to what's causing the problem. Okay, so we're going to go up, and hopefully the smiley actually slides down now. Nope! We have different... Oh, it's drawing the start of the room. Do you see that? Like it's drawing the first 2 rows or something. You can see part of the room slides down, but the rest is... That's not a result I was expecting. Am I setting y back to 0 again somewhere? Why would it only draw the first 2 lines? If x is greater than that, then we set it back to that. Ah. That needs to be copied to there. That would kind of make sense as to why I was doing that as well. Please work. What? You serious? You see this? It's drawing slightly more of the room, but still not all of it. Noinizer says that the m mod m divided by 3 or 0 is ugly but kind of beautiful. I kind of like it as well. It's not immediately clear what it does when you look at it, but it's neat. Yeah, it's slightly less broken now. How weird. Oh my god, what did I just do? I keep trying to refresh on the wrong thing. What? I think we're almost there. Like a third of the room is drawing. Where were we? Down here. X modulus 3 times 256. And we're doing the same thing down here again. If x is greater than or equal to m plus 1 times 256. Do I need to do modulus mod 3 here as well? I think maybe I do. What about going down? Oh my god! Going down! Going up. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, we still have some drawing issues between rooms, partly because these are not textured tiles yet. Whee! But hey, nice. Now I want to try your thing, because that was kind of cool. M divided by 3 or 0. Yeah, look at that. Oh. Or not. Unless I'm mistyping something, I don't think that's working. Can someone explain what the regex is doing? I don't know. Stages to draw. I think it's because my levels are drawn like this. Stages to draw. I'm not sure what that's doing there either. So S is the list of stages. So basically J is being set to stage N or M of all the stages. And then dot match that. I do not know what that's for. I wish I could read regex. Because what's JS match do? Retrieves the matches when matching a string against a regular expression. So it's only returning. Oh, I think I know what it is. No, I don't. No, I don't. I have no idea why that's there. Hi, Hunter Nixon. welcome to the stream. Matches 1 to 3 characters. Ah, now you say that, I'm like, of course. Yeah, basically, the levels are saved in groups of 3. So these refer to a tile. So this is saying draw texture 1 time. This is 0-based counting, so 0 equals 1. So draw texture 1 times, then draw texture 2 d times. So that equals texture 1 time, texture 2 d times, and then texture 3 is that one there. So that lets us, I guess I'm splitting it into 3s so that I do it here as well, so that I can get the texture values and process it 3 at a time. Okay, cool, we got some stuff working. Room 7, they also say that they stop saying what room they're in when they're up here. Cannot read property 1 of undefined, can move. I think our slimes are getting stuck in the walls. I'm aware of that bug. In fact, we should probably fix that now. So let me have a look. Where's our process tiles? Interactive tiles. So we can either, like at the moment, all of the doors have an interactive value of 2, and then what we do is under the slide room function, we look at the direction Lola's going to determine which way to move. What we should probably do is give each of the doors a different number. Or each of the sets of doors. So doorway right. We're going to give doorway right a value of 2, and then doorway left will be 4, because normally we go 0, 1, 2, 3, that's the direction values, but because I think 0 should mean no type of interaction, it's not an interactive tile, we're going to have to start at 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So door bottom left is 1, 2, 3. And then door top left is 1. Then I was about to call a variable door direction or door deer. We're going to have a door deer variable in here. For those of you who don't know, door deer is a ex-moderator. What am I talking about? He's one of the moderators for Game Mode 4. He went away for a while, but he's been more active recently. Why don't you split up the JS into multiple files? Looks like it's starting to get cluttered real quick. I agree. I think I want to do this. I'm going to have to turn it all into one file again afterwards because I've just realized the stream info thing, which I usually use to answer questions for new viewers, is not visible. There we go. Let me just check how that looks for you guys. Yeah, you can read that. So we have a size limitation with this game, and so eventually it's all going to have to be in one file, but it is starting to get crazy reading through it. So like at the moment there's like no HTML. That is all the HTML on this page, plus a close script, a close body, and a close HTML. I think you can actually get away without those tags, but I think different browsers might interpret that differently. We'll see. I only need to make it work for Chrome. It would be nice if it worked on other browsers as well, but I didn't want to have to go through the whole browser compatibility malarkey. Oh yeah, all my characters are, all my text characters for typing are specified like this as well. Okay, so we've got different numbers for the doors. So what we now need to do is, if the current, if the doors are 0, 1, 2, 3, then we need to change the tiles data is greater than 0 and less than 5. Oh, less than less than 5. Then it's room changing, and we need to set door dear. I want to call it door dear. Is that going to really confuse me later when I can't remember how I spelled it? Actually, is curtile... Where is curtile defined? We might just be able to use curtile. Oh no, current tile. Current tile might last long enough before it's rewritten. Yeah, if the room isn't changing, a room changing set to true here, so we can use it. Curtile. 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 Sounds like ka-ching. So. Curtile. But I've just created a door dear variable. Oh, I deleted it. Kind of wish we had a door dear variable, but there you go. No new things to read in the chat. Okay. Just curtile then. Oh, poor door dear. That's not going to be 1, 2, 3. I did not expect this stream to go this well, by the way. I was expecting to be stuck for ages. And I was actually like dreading trying to fix this problem. And was thinking of doing it off screen. What have I just done? Oh yeah, we want to make sure that doors now take us the right directions. That one takes us right. This one takes us up. This one probably... Oh, it can take us left. We do have a room on the left. Yep. And then this one takes us down. But importantly, if we now walk left, it still takes us down. Yeah. We also need to freeze player movement because I can do this. And then I error because I'm off screen. And I'm out of the playable tile range. So what it actually does is when they're walking, it animates Lola walking right or left or up or down. We need some kind of lock on the controls. And you're right, I need to split this up into separate files. Let's see. I have labeled it quite extensively, but, well, actually, slightly extensively. It's unextensively labeled. Controller input. I kind of thought I already had a movement allowed. There's an entities frozen. Does this stop Lola moving? It does. Does it stop Lola from being moved by something else? Oh, I see. It basically, when an entity tries to move, it checks whether the space it's trying to go to is valid, and I guess this just makes it return false. Like, so it doesn't think it can move, so Lola tries to move but can't. So this should actually work. Slide room entities frozen equals true. And then once it's done, we can unfreeze them. As long as we don't ever want them frozen. I don't know what I had that in there for. Hey, that worked. Nice. So I'm trying to move left right now and it's not letting me. And I don't get stuck in the wall either. So it looks like I counted right. I can go up and down right away. Nice, okay. And I mean, the entities are not drawn while the room moves anyway, which I'm okay with because I think the old like Zelda games with the sliding rooms didn't draw entities during the sliding animation. I could draw them. I don't think it would be very difficult. I would just have to add a stage scroll offset X to all of their drawing code. I don't know what you guys think, whether they should be drawn but frozen while you change rooms or not. I don't know. What was the next thing I was going to do? Does anyone have a suggestion for what I should do next? Because I feel like I could do a bit more today, and wasn't expecting to be done yet. Room 8. It looks like as soon as one of these slimes goes through a door, it errors, and my say command stops working. Let's try making them visible while this might be kind of interesting actually, because I think when Lola is walking from one room to the other, she's actually a separate entity. You can see when she's walking, it's just... It might work, but we might end up with 2 Lolas. But we can try it. So at the moment, the thing that's stopping the entities being drawn during the room sliding is simply draw entities if... I thought it was just... Is this... I think this is all in... Yeah, if not room changing. So if the room isn't changing, we don't process interactive tiles, we don't process AI, we don't draw entities, process dialogues. We can try allowing all of these things while the room is changing. And see what happens. Okay. Unexpected token else. Did I delete the wrong bracket? Aha! Yeah, see, if the room is changing, then we draw Lola at Lola offset X, Lola offset Y. Okay. Let's delete this and see what happens. What's going to happen is that as the room moves, the entities will stay like relatively in the same place on the screen. It looks like Lola moved all right. Interestingly. Yeah, it just sort of takes the blobs with us. And then what we need to do is... What was that variable called? Stage scroll offset. Now, you know what this is going to do? If we set them to the stage scroll offset Y and X, when we move up to the next room, it's going to snap all of the entities to that room. So they'll effectively be teleported into that room. So they would have to know what... They'd have to know where in this array their room was in order to have the right X and Y offsets. I think this is why I was doing it that way. And I think I just Control-Z'd something wrong. Yeah, I think we're going to have to make them vanish. Otherwise we have to work out what room they're in and draw them relative to the drawing engine. Or do what we're doing with Lola, which is basically just teleport them down or up or left or right. Well, actually, yeah. So we basically just change Lola's X and Y. Do we store the speed of an entity in? Oh no, we change their X by the same speed that we're scrolling. Speed X and speed Y. I guess we could do that. Yeah, let's try that. We want to process every entity except Lola. No, we can just replace this. How does our current entity cycling go? (5) entity CE. For I equals 0, I is less than e dot length, I plus plus, current entity equals EI, and then we can say current entity dot x plus equals speed x, speed y. Maybe. Hey! It's nice when something works for the first time. Works first time, even. Nice! I think that looks better than what we had before, where they just vanish, and I suppose entities in the room that we are entering would have to be drawn with the room, or like they'd have to be spawned with the right offsets to appear in their room, because they're going to be slid sideways by the room. We haven't done per room entities yet. Like currently there's just one array for entities, and that's it. And there's a couple of test slimes in there. Yeah. So the first entity is Lola. And in fact, we set Lola to be the first entity. This only happens when the game loads. So I think we're probably okay if we like shuffle where Lola is. But you can see that every entity has got a couple of parameters, one of them being the X and the Y. So we could have a go at sorting this entity array each frame, which sounds scary, but JavaScript might be okay with it. we need to sort them by property. I think we can do this, but there might be a better way to do it. Where should we put this code? Draw the stage. I guess we do it before we process, before we draw the entities. Sort entities by Y. Okay, so I think the way I would do this is create a temporary object. See, I'm aware that if I do temp equals E, this will either copy all of the content, all of the entities to temp, or it will make temp a mirror of E, which means that if you edit temp, you edit E. And I can't remember which of those it is. Because we don't want temp to be a mirror of E. We don't want temp to represent E. We want temp to be a copy of E. Yeah, see? Clone method. Wait, what? No, please, no. I don't want a ton of code. I'm worried that we're going to end up with our arrays destroying each other, basically. Object.createO. It does everything the author asks. Why is this so complicated? Yeah, this is what I was talking about. The assignment operator doesn't create a copy of an object; it only assigns a reference to it. So copy, yeah. If you set copy to equal object and then you change objects A to 5, then copies A is also 5, which we don't want. The naive way of copying objects. Ha ha ha! This is not. Basically, we need to pull. I was going to basically create an object array, go through every object in entities, and then either add it to the start or the end of the array, depending on whether its value is greater than the last value. Basically sorting them by X. God, why is there so much text to read? God damn it. This is going a long way to describe why everything I wanted to try doesn't work. At least I'm aware of the problem. Like, can you imagine if I was like making a reference to an object and then everything was breaking and I had no idea what was going on? JSON.parse JSON.stringify object. clever. Okay. Do we need a temporary object? I think that just looks like sorter. eSort equals blank object. Oh no, blank array. Okay, so what we do is... Right, hang on. I haven't actually sorted something alphabetically in a while. I know it involves basically checking to see if a value is greater or smaller than the previous value and then either putting it at the before or after it. I think let's just try this. So we'll say that if it's, hang on, we want to, the first entity is drawn first, so we want the highest, or the lowest x to be first. Okay, so we'll say if the number is greater than the last number, okay, you found it? I'm not sure when that was sent, sorry, in the thing. If the number is greater than the last number, we add it to the bottom of the list. If the number is less than the last number, then, God, do we have to look back through the list to see where it fits? This doesn't feel right. I can't remember how you do this. So we'd say that 4 goes in, and then 8 is greater than that, so we add it here. And then 3 is less than that, but we can't just add it here because that's wrong, and we can't add it at the start because, well, in this case, if we added it to the start, it would be right, but then we get to 6, and 6 is less than 8, so we can't add it to the start, and we end up with that. I feel like I should remember how to do this, but I can't. Sorting objects. Sorting by number. I just want the maths for it, not necessarily the code. There's a mathematical term for this stuff, like sorting logic. Do you know what? What if there's a JavaScript function that just does this? Sort JavaScript object by property. Well, this is basically exactly what we're trying to do. Array.sort. Oh, okay, that doesn't work. Okay. Move them to an array, sort that array, then use that array for your purposes. Well, our entities is already an array, I think. It is. However, the property we're reading is... Oh. Oh. I see, this is turning... This is leaving it as an array. Which is fine for a name-value pair, but we have a lot of properties for these. Ooh, this looks promising. Let's try this. In fact, we might not even need an extra. E equals object dot keys, and then the key in this case is E dot sort. This better not be jQuery. Return list. Oh, this shouldn't be list. This is EA minus list B EB. I wish I knew why this did what it does. Function AB. This looks very familiar. I feel like I've seen something like this before. EA minus EB. I guess that... Is that returning as a Boolean? I'm not sure. Let's see if it works. If it works, then just having that there should break everything. It might be because we're writing it straight to the same variable that we're editing. What was that JSON stringify thing? We're not telling it which A and B. We're not telling it which property to sort by. These are just name value pairs. This isn't an array of objects. That's probably the problem. This is sorting an object rather than sorting an array of objects by a property. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into this because I'm fed up with trying to do this on stream. We've probably been going for a fair while, so I'm gonna call it here for today. Thank you for watching, or watching the stream back afterwards. And oh, I just want to try that thing again that I think I needed some brackets for. M divided by 3 or 0. Yeah, those brackets seem to have fixed it. In which case, can I get rid of these brackets, or is it the other brackets that were needed? Yeah, that looks good. Okay, cool. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we'll call it there. Thank you very much, guys. And I'll see you hopefully next weekend. I'll stream some more, and I'll try and work out what the best way of sorting an array of objects by an object's property is. See ya.